that we've exhausted everything right now that we could do. It's just so emotional to see someone vibrant. Sunday. I didn't get any videos edited this week, so I have to go to Morgantown. So I decided I'd give you an update and what's going on about why my husband's been hospitalized so many times. So here we go. 2019, January of 2019, he was diagnosed with congestive heart failure. And his heart was bad, deteriorating then. He had had triple bypass in 2008, has done wonderful, and it still looks really, really good. So, when he left the hospital in the middle of, right about February, he was in there the whole month of January to get the fluid off, and we had to make a plan. They sent him home with an external defibrillator because his heart was not working up to capacity. If it would stop, it would shock him, and we would go further. He went into cardiac rehab from January until May. He had his appointments and everything. When we went back in May, his heart had strengthened, which they could not believe that it strengthened that much, and he did not need the external defibrillator anymore. So we just watched SALT. He got out in May of 2019, off the defibrillator, done amazing. Winter times have been hard. You know, he would go back in the hospital in the winter because he's not active enough, so he's not sweating, so the fluid has nowhere to go, so he fills up. However, he's very, like, when I tell you that he's a difficult patient, he's a difficult case. When they say it's going to be easy, you might as well us be in there. It's going to be hard, because he's just, his body's like that. He does not fill up with fluid like the normal person. Like normal people fill up in their feet, their ankles, and then they know, oh no, I'm starting to fill with fluid. Let me call the doctor and get my medication. He fills up from the waist up. So by the time that he really can't breathe, his whole body is full, and he's full of fluid in his lungs, and he can't breathe. So I've learned to keep an eye. We have what we call the telehealth at our house, and he weighs in every day, and I am phone call to phone call with his heart doctor. And if he gains so much weight, then I know to up his fluid medication and get the fluid off. There are some times that doesn't work, and we have to be put in the hospital, and he has to be pumped with the IV medicine to get that fluid off of his lungs. And that's hard on your heart when you do that, because that medicine, yes, it's good for the lungs and to remove it off, but it also damages the heart more. So we really try to stay out of the hospital. But over the course of time, from 2019 to 2023, we've been trying to, his valve had not been to the numbers that they wanted it to go to. And he was always borderline, but you don't want to do it too early, because that's not good either. You can't have it done again. He's done amazing. You know, I have fought for and took care of him since 2019, and I will continue to do that. We have now reached stage 3 of his congestive heart failure. What that means is I've exhausted all of the medications, we've done everything, and now his valve is where it needs to be. However, he had a bad tooth, and he told them, the dental, he needs that tooth out in October so we can get the heart surgery. I will be advocating for our veterans, because they're like, we can't get you until March. And I am like, do you not understand this is an emergency? But they're like, we'll get you on a cancellation. So his heart valve was there, but not to the numbers yet. So, here we are, October, November, he was hospitalized, still not there. December, he was hospitalized in Pittsburgh. We're there. We're calling the doctor, the dental, and saying, hey, we need to get him in there ASAP. Well, they couldn't. And I'm like, are you not understanding the words that are coming out of my mouth? Well, they will be hearing from me, because now he is in the hospital, not coming out until he has the valve replacement. They have an oral surgeon coming to the hospital, and he will go in, remove the tooth, because they do not want any infection. If he has an infection up there, it will go directly to the heart, and there's nothing that we can do. He won't even be able to have the heart surgery, and then we'll be done, and we'll just have to wait it out. Wednesday night, we went out to dinner. We finally were able to go out to dinner for our Valentine's, and I wanted some Bob, but he wanted breakfast. He would eat breakfast 24/7. But I thought, I'll take some chicken noodle soup, and we have this restaurant, Bob Evans. They make the best chicken noodle soup. So we went there, and he had his breakfast. When we were getting in the car, he's like, man, I ate too much. I can't. He said, I'm just so full. I just can't get my breath. Well, I ate 2 hot rolls with my noodles, so I felt a little bloated too. So we sat there for a few minutes, and then we went home. On the way home, he's just like, I ate way too much. And I said, well, you had pancakes, so those are probably swelling up you. So we got home, and I got him in the house, and he laid down, and his watch started going off. Well, he went into AFib. So I kept track of his blood pressure. All night long, he was in AFib. And I'm like, do you want to go to the ER? And he said, no, I'm going to my doctor tomorrow, his heart doctor. And he said, I'll go see her, and she'll probably just give me another heart medicine. And 3 o'clock in the morning, he went out of AFib, went back into sinus rhythm, and he felt wonderful. We weighed him that morning, and so I went ahead and went to work because he was fine. He had no fluid on him, and he didn't gain anything. So we're just thinking that he had ate too much, which flared up the hiatal hernia, threw him into AFib. So he went to the doctor, I went to work, and by the time I got out of work, the doctor called, and she said, I'm not letting him come home. When she took a look at his heart valve, that the ultrasound that they did a week before, she's like, we're there. We are there. And she said, I'm going to be very blunt with you. He needs to stay out of the hospital until he has this tooth out. She said, we are at the crucial point of that valve needing done, and he's not going anywhere. His heart has weakened. He's not leaving the hospital. This is the safest place that he can be. And so I was like, okay, I get that. So I go see him. He's fine. He's laughing. He's always a jolly person. So I go see him that evening, take him stuff, and he's like, well, I'll probably be in here until Monday. And I said, okay, we'll figure it out, and we'll get him taken care of. And I had called the oral surgeon on Thursday and said, listen, I really need to get him in there to have this tooth removed so he can have this valve replacement. And the surgeon knew, and she's like, well, I tell you what, can you get him here Monday? And I'm like, I'll take it, which is tomorrow. And so we took the earliest one as possible, so he's all scheduled for that. And I go to work Friday knowing that, he's up there. He was fine that morning, and we've got the surgeon ready to go. So I'm doing my work, and the next thing you know, I get a phone call, and they're shipping him to Morgantown. I'm like, what happened? They moved him to ICU. They're like, he needs to get this done sooner than later. And I am like, okay, somebody's not being totally honest with me. Like, I get this and that, and my emotions are up, down, up, down, up, down. I work until 11:30. I ended up having this meltdown from having having no sleep the night before, and I just started crying. I'm just like, I can't deal with this anymore. So it's just so emotional to see someone vibrant and then all of a sudden they're in ICU and they're struggling to breathe, and you don't know the outcome. So I leave work and I just very bluntly call my kids and I just tell them, I'm like, listen, I don't mean to upset any of you, but here it is on the table. They're old enough now, they're adults. I'm being straight honest with them. We don't sugarcoat anything. We just totally honest with everybody. So I leave and I go see him, and he looks tired, which is normal because he's trying to struggle to breathe. So they have him hooked up to everything that they can. He's breathing on his own, but they have him hooked up to everything and watching his heart and stuff. So they shipped him to Morgantown because the doctor's like, this is the one-stop shop, one and done. We're going to have the surgeon come in tomorrow and remove the tooth. Then he'll probably be a couple days on antibiotics just to be precaution before he has the valve replacement. So it has been an emotional weekend. I'm okay today. I went to the doctor yesterday and had my neck put in, and I had a migraine, and she just said it's just stress. So I didn't go anywhere. Then I talked to the nurses and they said he's fine. He's laughing and joking. She said if you wouldn't, to look at him and to hear him, you wouldn't know that he was sick. But to look at his record and his heart on screen, he's sick. And that's just the way he is, we take it and we just run with it. This is not his death sentence. When he has the valve replacement, it was going to give him better quality of life. And his doctor was honest. She said, will he live forever? No, none of us will. But he'll have about 3 to 5 more years of very good quality of health. We'll just keep him out of the hospital and we'll keep doing what I'm doing, for better or worse, in sickness and in health. And here I am taking care of him. And I will do that. They all want to take care of him. They're like, he's the number one patient because he doesn't complain of anything. He's very jolly. He's very nice. He's not demanding. I'm more demanding when I get there because I'm like, I want to know this, this, and this, and I want to have a plan of action. And I'm not mean to them by any means, but I'm like, this needs to happen. And and they're like, I'm on top of everything. I do all of his medicines, and I love his heart doctor. And she told him there, she's like, listen, she knows her stuff. You don't sugarcoat it for her. And I appreciate that. I stay on top of his health care and everything because you have to. I will be contacting the VA where he was at for the dental, and I will be having meetings with them because even in a dental clinic there, I understand all those people had to wait 3 or 4 months to get in there, but they need to allot for an emergency situation. If they would allot for an emergency situation when he was in that hospital, they should have been able to take him down, remove that tooth, because it was an emergency, get him started on his antibiotics, then ship him to Morgantown, and he would probably already had his heart surgery on this past Thursday, and he would be fine. But no, they're like, we don't have any openings. Okay, that's going to change. We are going to make an example out of my husband for the simple fact, what if somebody else's family member was in there and their heart was too bad for him to fight anymore, and then they lose their family member because they couldn't get him into the dentist? That is unacceptable to me. My husband and all of these veterans have fought for our freedom, fought for our country, and you have the audacity to say you're not going to get him in there yet because you don't have any openings? No, I don't think so. That's not going to happen, and things are going to change for our veterans. There should never be any homeless veterans out there. Every veteran should have a home. I'm not saying a big mansion, but I'm saying you better take care of your veterans. Why? Because they fought for your freedom. Yeah, I get a little hot under the collar for that. But anyway, off of that soapbox. But I'm getting ready. I got him a little backpack because it'll probably be a while before he comes home. So I will work the rest of this week, not tomorrow. I will work the rest of this week. I will take off for when he has the valve replacement, because that's a very extensive. But there's nothing that I can do every day other than sit there until he has his surgery. So I will go be with my little kids at school because they give me joy, and deal with my Peanut every day and listen to what Peanut has to say about everything. And then I will take off when I need to be there for him for the surgery, and take care of him from there. But that's where I'm at. I really wanted to do a cooking video for you guys, but you know, I can't get anything edited. I slept almost all day yesterday, except on and off talking to the doctors. I was just exhausted. But I just wanted to give you guys an update. You know, I started YouTube, so it's an open book. I will tell you things, and vlog on days, and you know, because people need to know my story and testimony, and tragedy can be somebody else's triumph. My mess of my life is a mess. God turns it into a message. So, you know, when you start a YouTube channel, that's your life out there. Whether you just want to do cook, vlog, or whatever, you're putting yourself out there. So, I love you guys. So many of you have reached out and sent me messages to my ladies on the WOW group. I did watch all of your videos. I tried to comment on. So please continue to say a prayer for him, and just know that I appreciate each and every one of you. Thanks for watching today, and I'll see you around the corner.